If we give these workers time off, we take their um, jobs from them and make life easier for them. What happens? The USA created the Hut race. Like literally, it didn't exist in history, and now this new species has existed. And like, you know what? Like, there's a lot of people out there sitting around letting the 6 million enslavers control the world and the technology and all that. And if we tell these other people to quit having their boots on the ground inside the stores and hand that, let these people have these corporations and stuff, then I'm not too sure there's going to be anyone fighting, especially considering they already worship them. How many years, how many days of the year, how many seconds of each day does do the humans worship devils? You praise them on TV. They're the internet stars. They're the YouTube stars. If not, they're like puppeteers right behind them. They're the politicians. They're obviously the corporate owners. And then everyone's just like sitting around letting it happen. Okay, they're more guilty. I mean, there's 14 billion of them and only like 6 million of those others. At least so they say. I mean, interrogation and discovery will lead us to understand there's something else going on in this world, like liars who don't stop lying. But there is ways to extract information from people, and we'll get to the bottom of that one way or the other. Uh, I already know the way because I've known it since I was a kid. What's going to happen in this world? Definitely got to experience a lot of it happening, and we see it actually rolling through its final stages right now in the world. Um, but yeah, that also doesn't make me feel very positive about this, where we let people who already worship devils um, hand over their power to the devils they already worship even further. It's like instead of 90% devil worship, they hand their uh, their entire existence over to the adversary. And then, I mean, hell, they'll probably get rid of them too at that point because why? Like, they could be an asset. They might end up going out someday and learning something and not punching people in the head who say intelligent things that try to beat them down to their level so they can not feel so alone in the world as some people do. Um, and how is a you know that person gonna have a servant? Like Jabba the Hutt had to chain up Leia. He couldn't like crawl after her if she got away or anything like that. So there are literal people out there like that, and it might be more than you know. I mean, hell, most people know more people than I do, so they should know a lot better. I I learned it like day one to just stay away from people, and then they're like 40 years into going outside like these people are acceptable to be around or something. And so everyone else should have more experience than I do with these types of people. And I don't think that they're going to help us. I mean, they're actually in the way of worshiping their adversary overlords. If they at least have their boots inside the store, who knows what they could do? I mean, they could mess something up or just stand there and be physically in the way of a cheaper robot or something replacing it. But if we are going to go that route, if we're going to and we already have, since 2020, the adversary has done their little thing and shut down. Somehow the human bots just don't even have any thoughts at all of their own, and they've shut their nations down. They're like, who cares? Who needs work? Who needs money? We're America. We'll be able to keep stealing money from Africa till the day we die. Oh no, wait a minute. We're already running out of money, aren't we? We're already running out of resources and people to do the labor. And so yeah, you replace them with robots. Where the hell are the resources for the robots going to come from? Who the hell's going to make that? Solar panels. Solar panels. Ooh, it is getting hot out. Let's heat the sun up a little more. Let's see if that's what they have in mind with it. They're going to create more energy rather than wage war upon the adversary. I'm pretty sure the latter's actually happened because the adversary can't stop lying, and they're like global warming and all this, and like literally I just watch their moves, and like they even come to me and say like, why would you want the world to know who you are? It's like, why wouldn't I? And, why would I waste my life, trying to change things if I didn't want people to know? But it's just the dumbest thing. But it just coincides with everything else they do, trying to block and oppress people. And I'm assuming that like their whole lie, global warming, is because someone controls the weather, and they're probably pissing that person off really bad. I'm assuming that that's like the storyline in the game here, considering all the rest of the creation, like, and how I've actually seen that the weather created. Pretty sure that's what's happening. So like, if people like don't like go against that, like you're like forced to use the utilities you have at hand to change things. And I'm concerned that their boots on the ground, they're not, moving the boots against Master. They're still worshiping Master, but just Master seems scared of the robots too. Elon Musk and pal seems scared of the. I'm not scared of robots. It's the people who own them. See, that's what people need to do. And now that they have more free time, they need to organize and take over the corporations and put those corporations people in the places that they need to go. And then when the people own the corporations, then you can have stuff like automated cars. Then you can have computers that work right. Then you can have workers replaced with robots. But it's going to get worse if the humans sit around and worship the adversary and then just give their last bit of breath that they don't spend worshiping the adversary to the adversary. That's just going to get worse. It already has too for people who understand and are the leaders of the opposition to the adversary. We don't even know who they really are because the adversary has their own fake opposition. So, like, they've already gotten that far. That's how they've used technology to enslave people, to try to remove them from interaction in buildings outside, and then silence them once they get locked into the technology and stuff. But that's what's got to be done if we're not going to, go where it's already written, where the game goes. Like if we're not going to go to like, full-scale elemental war against man, the planet's starting to seem like it's a disease itself these days because it's feeding and hosting these adversaries. So, yeah, if people get more time and stuff, they should probably spend their time preparing for war against these people and actually moving against them. Not just, the time to prepare for war, as I said, was decades. It was a decade plus ago. And the time to move against them is now before it's too late.